welcome to Flory Models Daily Show. Here we're on the 7th of December 2016, and apologies for the audio quality from yesterday's Q&A show with me and Steve. As I said, it's one of those things. I don't have an engineer, so it's literally you guys tell us live that you can't hear us and everything else. The trouble we have is obviously me and Steve use a different audio setting. As a lot of you know, we have a piece of software. It's like a studio system, and that's how we can change camera angles and everything else. The audio feed is separate to the visual feed, so actually the cameras aren't doing any of the sound. We have totally separate audio. The problem is, and unbeknown to me, is that I did an update on my motherboard to have a new sort of BIOS and various bits and pieces on it over the weekend. Didn't realise it had actually changed all my audio settings as well, because I just thought it was doing other things. I didn't actually think to check it was doing sound. Okay, so unfortunately the things in the audio settings on the onboard and things like that had all changed. So although we've got down here, I've got a mixer so I can turn up the sound and the various things. You guys were saying I was quiet. I had this on maximum and it was still quiet, and normally that's deafening. So that's what it was. It was actually because this obviously was interfering somewhat with the actual the main settings, and they had gone literally to minimums of everything, so that was the trouble. So anyway, last night I did a lot of testing during the evening, doing lots of testing, 1, 2, 3, trying to figure it out, and then eventually we found that's what the problem was. So we've now set and calibrated all the audio systems back up again, so it should be absolutely fine. In some ways, a lot of people always said I was a little bit quiet, so now I should be exactly the same as everybody else, because I've upped my levels and my boosts and various things. So this actually has gone back. Instead of it almost being on maximum, it's now down to pretty much minimums on here, so we can actually turn things up on the fly. But the usual thing, guys, is that we are live. As I said, we don't have a gallery up there telling us that our levels are low and everything else. We are pretty dependent on you guys giving us feedback. So thank you to everybody who texted, emailed, sent messages and everything else saying you couldn't hear me and things like that. But as I said, if you didn't watch the first bit of the show, fear not, because of the audio. We went back and recapped those questions. So actually we went back for the last sort of 20 minutes of the show, and I redid the first 4 questions that actually are very quiet and you can hardly hear anything that I'm saying. But again, it's just one of those things. It's a complicated setup, as I said, and it amazes me it still even works. We are running now technically 7 cameras in the studio, and we have 3 audio feeds. As I said, a lot of you would have known we use this guy again as our backup, and we had this one up, but we have another one, and actually the main camera carries its own one as well. So from that point of view, it's that thing of just trying to make sure everything's fine at all times and trying to give you the best possible quality, but occasionally it does slip. So again, hands up, big apologies for that. Anyway, today, well, to be honest, this morning I have done a bit of filming. I have gone round and done some of that. Do you realise this camera is the big 4K camera that I'm recording this on now? And the trouble I have is it's rubbish at walking around. It's great for being still like this, but it doesn't like being sort of carried and stuff like that. It gives you a real sense of motion sickness, where the small one, the little dinky one, which to be honest, this is my old vlogging camera, had no problem with it at all. It was absolutely fine. Anyway, as you can probably see down here, we have done a little bit of work to the Star Destroyer this morning. We've been taking care of the gaps and the lumps and bumps, purely because I need all of that to dry. So that can dry off this morning. I'll probably come back to it this afternoon if I get a bit of time, and that will be ready for paint and primer. And to be honest, what I've actually done is tomorrow's review is already done, recorded, edited, and is actually up on YouTube. It's just hidden at the moment. It's unlisted. So actually it gives me another full day in front of the camera to get on with the Star Wars stuff. So to be honest, I wanted to get these done, sorted out and everything else, so purely when we get to tomorrow I can spend a day in the spray booth and be spraying and everything else like that. So quite exciting times for that one. And then what I'm going to do, to be honest, I'm going to pop on and I'm going to carry on doing the sorry, see this camera, I don't know if this actually works. It's not quite as fluid, shall we say, as when we were doing the other one. So what I'm going to do is carry on doing the Meteor. So next week, in theory, I'll be in the spray booth all week, which is quite exciting. So I'm expecting the new spray bay to turn up next week. Say spray bay, the next spray booth. It has been ordered. It's been on order over a week. I have spoken to Graphic Air Adam over there, and he assured me it'll be going out at the end of this week. So hopefully that'll be ready for setting up. So we're getting near Christmas and everything starts to crunch, and I really wanted the spray booth done before Christmas because we're going to share it with you guys. I'm going to vlog it. We're going to do an entire show about building a spray booth and the requirements and what you need, what you don't need, and everything else like that. So I'm hoping this will be in this week. That way I can plan out a lot of it during next week and perhaps get it up before Christmas. That's the theory. As I said, I am away this weekend. Normally I spend my weekends doing things like this, but this weekend I am actually away and everything else. So anyway, time to get on.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out low. Was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. Under the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna move. Fingers down your spine, looking in my eyes, feel your hands on mine. Tonight we're freer than ever. I wanna remember. Oh, we run every endeavor. I wanna remember. Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out, no. Was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. I'm in the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna move. Fingers down your spine, looking in my eyes, feel your hands on mine. Tonight we're freer than ever. I wanna remember. Oh, we run every endeavor. I wanna
Okay then guys, good morning's work so far. To be honest, did a bit more to the Star Destroyer. We popped around, a little bit of paint, sprayed it up, double checked it, wasn't happy with a couple of spots, I've redone that. So that, to be honest, is drying. Okay, more about that one tomorrow. We'll start on the full builds of that, they'll be up on the site. Carried on with this guy. So we have been really pushing through with this one. To be honest, it's a great little kit. Airfix at its best, definitely. The only thing is, I still want to rescribe it and sort of re-rivet it all. I feel it needs that level of detail just around there. Don't get me wrong, it's all there. It's just that when I look at the photos and it doesn't look like much riveting on it, then I look at the box art and you look at this and you think, oh, look at that box art, that's beautiful. I could recreate that and do all that, a little bit of weathering on it. And it's that point, and I'm almost at that thing now where it's a case of you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it now. So do we do it, do we not? I don't know. Up to you guys. You want me to totally re-rivet this one, weather it a little bit like the box art, which we know isn't that realistic, but it does look good, doesn't it? So sometimes I'm led definitely by my heart rather than reality. To be honest, we had loads of trouble with putting the nose on. We knew it was going to happen, spoke to loads of you about it at Telford because we were doing it back then. This is how long this one's been on the go and everything else. So it was a case of, right, okay, bite the bullet. So we've gone in there, sanded it, shaved it back, put it on. To be honest, it didn't really work fantastically well, as you'll see in the video. So we ended up doing a tiny little tack work with super glue and a bit of kicker just to hold it all into place. Okay, so that is done now. So really we're to the point where this is done, the engines are done, we've just got to do the cockpit work, put that on, and then we're ready for paint. But do we re-rivet it? So no. It's one of those things. Re-riveting has terrified me for absolute years. Now I've sort of got the hang of it, I want to rivet everything. It's that thing. Anyway, engines are done as well. They're a nice little touch with this particular kit. I'm not sure if it will be up today. So what will happen is, if this isn't done today to the point where I want to do it, because literally I want to get into paint, what I will do is I will then put this up tomorrow. So what you'll get today is the Star Destroyer, and then this will go up tomorrow. So we'll just swap our Wednesday and Thursday around, and then it will level itself out as time goes on. In the meantime, I have had a delivery, which we do like deliveries. So this box has turned up. Hopefully you're still getting it in. Now this should have in here what I know a lot of you have been asking for a while. Okay, so I'm hoping this is what this is. Okay, so in one, where are we? Okay, so first of all, you were asked for it. It is here, thank God. Well done, guys. This is the P40. So this will be up for a review very, very soon. I'm not sure what even that is. I'm going to have to check what that is in a minute. We've also got, purely because I saw one of these, obviously it was built as part of the Turkey build, I thought it looked fantastic and stunning. So I'm thinking, go on then, we'll have one of those as well. So we'll be having a look at that. We have also got this guy, purely because I did say I wouldn't do it because, let's face it, Revell have done a nice one of these and all the rest of it, but we're on a bit of an Airfix roll, so I thought, right, okay, so we've got one of those. So full reviews of these will be coming up. Loads of you are asking about this particular kit, and like, was it available and all the rest of it. Yeah, I succumb. Right, okay, so we got one of those. To be honest, I've got some wheels for the flanker because I wanted replacement wheels for the flanker. That is just a separate project which we'll talk about another day, and these are for the F5 Tiger because, as I say, I still want to do that F5. I'm still going to do the scooter. All those kits we spoke about before a couple of weeks ago, I am going to do them, so that's why I've got those in. Alright, what else have we got? Paints. As I say, I tend to buy in bulk because, let's face it, that's how we go. So I've got some XF85, XF2 and XF86. This is the clear flat that we love so much. So we've got some of those. Oh, and I've got one of these. To be honest, how the hell do you even... I know what it is. It's designed for this box. That's the trouble. So, to be honest, this particular kit, I was going to surprise you and just build it on the quiet and you wouldn't know about it, and we'll go like, ta-da, it's done. But looking at my workload for the next couple of months, it is going to be pretty heavy, so I'm not going to be able to get around to it as quick as I perhaps wanted to do. But expect the review next week. So yes, it is here. So I know a lot of you have been asking about this. This is definitely one of my favourite aircraft of all time, purely because it looks so futuristic. With the canopy and everything else like that. Personally, not a fan of the white, if I'm honest. I prefer the wraparound camo and stuff like that. But yeah, it's one of my things. I built the Revell one, let's face it, which is the old Matchbox one and everything else. And it quite frankly, yeah, it's horrible. It's raised riveting and raised panel lining. It's a lot of work to put right. So we're hoping Airfix have done this nicely. So this is obviously the Victor with the Mark II with a blue steel missile underneath it and everything else like that. But again, I might just do, I don't know if we could get the tanker out of this one as well, because obviously in later life it was the tanker and things like that. But there we go. So definitely quite interesting delivery this week with all the bits and pieces come in, which is quite nice because this is the first delivery I've had in since the beginning of November, so it's literally a month since I've had a proper delivery of sort of kit reviews and stuff like that come in. Remember, I buy all these so you don't have to, so it's like, you know, have a look at the reviews and everything else, and then hopefully throughout the rest of the year, or next year certainly now, we'll be putting some of these kits together, seeing how they go, and then turning them into full video builds. So that's about it for me now. Join me tonight for the show. As I said, I'm going to try and push on with a little bit more of this. To be honest, I need around about another 10 minutes worth of footage to do it, but I'm into that thing about what I'm going to go and which direction we're going to go in. I need this front to dry properly so I can sand and blend and everything else. So I might have to do a few other jobs, come back and we'll see if we've got it done in time and if I can get it edited and up by tonight. If not, don't panic, it'll be up with you tomorrow night. So there we go, guys. See you all later. So you're okay. I did manage to actually get this one all edited up. So there's a 30-minute part 4 of this is available to see up on the site right now. And it basically covers what you can see. So we spoke about obviously doing the little bits and pieces, the troublesome nose, getting that all sorted on there. And we did the engine work and did the masking and everything else like that. So this guy technically is now ready for paint, which gives us to the next thing. Am I going to rivet it? I am really drawn between the two. You know, at the end of the day, you look at the box art and it looks fantastic without riveting, with a little bit of weathering on it, a little bit of post shading, I think would look absolutely fantastic. So as always, it's over to you guys. Post it up in the forum in today's news section. Yes, rivet it. No, leave it natural. The thing is, I've been looking online, and the more you look online, the more you drive yourself mad. You know what it's like, because I look online and you can't really see any riveting on it, and it looks just very nice and shiny and glossy and all the rest of it. Yeah, the box art, oh, it looks so nice, doesn't it? It really does look nice and everything else. So anyway, as you can see, part 4 of that is up with you right now. Now, obviously, those kits turned up this week. I know everyone's going to be excited when you can do the reviews of them and all the rest of it. They will be up with you next week. Okay, I'm going to sit through them and I will get all of those reviewed with you next week, because tomorrow we're actually going to have this guy up. Okay, so this will be part 1, okay, which is the review build, new way of doing it. Okay, so I actually build it and review it all at the same time. It's only like, I think about, I don't know, 20 minutes. It doesn't take long to put together, obviously. And then part 2 with this will be up with you tomorrow, next week, sorry. So this will be up, and what I'm going to do is try and do something every single day running up to Christmas now. I'm going to get really busy with the festive thing, so this will be up with you. It's only going to be a 2-parter. Part 2, we talk about obviously doing this work we've done under here, re-riveting, re-scribing, getting rid of the doors and things like that under here, and then obviously doing the little seams and that we speak about on the top. So we've got that one to go through, and then on Friday, to be honest, I've got the Sound of Silence review coming at you from Edar, which is that great artwork with the MiG-21 and obviously the A4. All right, so as you said, those reviews will be with you next week, no problem at all. For you guys that are following along with Advent Calendar Land, as we did yesterday, today is the 7th, so we need number 7. So what have we got down in here? Oh, is it another minifig? No. What is that? That's even worse. It's a snowman. Great, very Star Wars-esque and all the rest of it. Okay, a snowman. Right, okay, I'll build that after the show. Anyway, take care, guys. Happy modelling, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.